So I just want to talk to you about who we are, our goals, some macroeconomic trends within the airline industries. People say, how come you care about airlines and that stuff, Dick? I happen to be an aviator. I'm a pilot. I fly both. I'm both jet rated. I fly a jet aircraft as well as helicopters. And if you live in the Ada community, you're aware that I fly helicopters. So I enjoy this, but it's really driven by not only not my personal interest, but in fact the economics. Some progress and improvement that we've made at Gerald Ford Airport, and I'm going to try to continue to refer to it as Gerald Ford Airport, not Grand Rapids Airport. Even though designator is GRR, and it's very easy to say Grand Rapids Airport, Gerald Ford Airport really says it's a community and a regional asset, which it is increasingly becoming, and you'll see that in the numbers. And then we're just going to talk about how we're doing at Gerald Ford and what's happening relative to the nation and some of our more competitive major markets nearby. So here's a region that we talk about when we define what's regional air alliance. What is the region? We think those are typical service areas. Down in the southwest, that would be served by Kalamazoo Airport, Lansing, and then traditionally from the Grand Rapids Airport, and then up north, Traverse City. But we do believe that this represents an entire region or catchment basin for regional air service. And in fact, this is where in regard to organizing air service, the lake becomes an asset because you can't drive from Muskegon to Milwaukee to catch your flight. It just doesn't work out that way. It tends to funnel things down. And if you look at the geography of it and you look at the assets, the way that they're deployed, I'm not picking favorites, I'm just saying the way that they are deployed and the geography of the situation, Gerald Ford is the preferred regional airport because it has the capabilities, the facilities, the massive population easily accessible to Gerald Ford. And in the way the airline industry is going, as we'll see, you need to have those numbers to get the sort of service that we're increasingly seeing at Gerald Ford. And I jokingly refer to, I think for Holland as well as our friends down in Kalamazoo, that you didn't realize that the Gerald Ford Airport actually moved 10 minutes closer. The M6 effectively moved the Gerald Ford Airport 10 minutes closer to you. So for Kalamazoo, it's about a 50-minute, 55-minute drive from almost anywhere you are in Kalamazoo. If you live in a major metro area, an airport within an hour's drive in any direction is pretty darn good and is considered your regular airport and would be considered very normal. Who is the Regional Air Alliance? We're a pretty thin organization with a small board of directors. And as I say, that's just because we didn't want to have a lot of paperwork because we intend to go out of business. Our goals to have best-in-class commercial air service, to utilize our platform that's available to us for promotion of economic growth, as you can see. We also, one of our targets that we had was to reduce airfare premiums. And we'll talk quite a bit more about that. But to reduce airfare premiums that we've been experiencing coming out of Gerald Ford, coming out of West Michigan for many, many years. We've had a history in the West Michigan community of being dominated by a single airline, and that airline's name has changed over the years, but we've tended to be dominated by a single airline. And they've held a majority of the share of the marketplace and have had relatively little competitive challenge. And so the dynamics allowed for us to be basically overpriced. And we didn't have enough competitive pressure and enough market pressure to be able to do much about it until recently, as we'll see. So all of the markets that are listed there, by the way, experience the same thing. But what we're going to see is that Gerald Ford is stepping out of that group of airports of the region, commercial airports of the region, and stepping into a different competitive group. Now, we are talking about commercial air service. This is not a discussion about private airports and the value and importance that they bring to the community. I fly in and out of Holland on a regular basis. It has enormous value, but we're talking about commercial airports. You also might notice that we're missing Muskegon. Some of you would say, what happened to Muskegon? And basically, Muskegon within the commercial sector is a non-factor anymore. there just simply isn't enough service coming out of Muskegon commercially to even move the needle. And so we're not really including Muskegon in this conversation at the present time. Their service has declined so dramatically as to be essentially, from a macro standpoint, not material to the conversation today.